Coming off a 6-7 season, the Gators leave much to be desired by fans. Entering Billy Napier's second season, and with the toughest schedule in the SEC, can the Gators make some noise, or will the outcome be a repeat of last season? Let's get into it.
August 31st at Utah. Who you got?
The dumpster fire that is Florida. I cannot wait to go through this schedule. At Utah, Florida taking an L against the Utes.
Yeah, I agree. Salt Lake City is a tough place to play. They had, back-to-back Pac-12 champs. I don't think Florida has enough to go into Utah and get a win at all. Kyle Whittingham will have that team ready to play. I got Utah by 2 scores.
September 9th against McNeese State.
So this is a good game for them. Florida's going to come out of there with a win. Yeah,
I got Florida winning this one too, but I think they have enough to get the win at McNeese State.
All right, so right now heading into the Tennessee game, they're 1-1. So they got Tennessee coming to the Swamp September 16th.
Even though it was a close one last year, 38-33, and it was at Tennessee. So Florida did play a good game, but I don't see them having the talent, especially along the front, right? They I think have one senior on the offensive line. I don't see them having the talent to beat Tennessee. So I'm going to Tennessee on this.
Yeah, I am inclined to agree with you. I think Tennessee on both sides of the line, right, offensive and defensive, will be too much for Florida to handle, right? And that's not saying that Florida won't get there. I think they will. But, Billy Napier is still in that, rebuilding phase. So I think Tennessee will be a little bit too much for them to handle. I got Tennessee winning this one.
Their next game is September 23rd against Charlotte at home.
Hey, lucky for them, they got another fixer-up game right there. They'll give them another W. Confidence booster game for Florida because they're going to need it. The upcoming stretch of their schedule is going to be tough. So, yeah, I got Florida taking the win here.
Yeah, easy victory.
Next game, September 30th at Kentucky.
So, Kentucky went into the Swamp last year and beat them 26-16. And I don't see them being at home. They got a confidence from last year. I see Kentucky winning this game.
I actually have Florida winning this game. Kentucky had Will Levis at quarterback last year, and they won't have that this year. And I think Florida is going to rise up to the challenge. They have to win one of these games and get a win. And I think at Kentucky will win a game that they get their victory.
I have Kentucky winning. And the reason they got a quarterback, he was the top quarterback in the transfer portal last year, Devin Leary, coming from NC State. He's gonna be the difference maker again. Quarterback battle. Florida doesn't have it, so they're gonna start the season at 2-3. Next game, Vanderbilt at home.
It's gonna be an up and down season for them to begin. If I'm taking Florida to beat Vanderbilt after their loss last year, so Florida's gonna get a little bit of a revenge game here, get a little W, but Florida's gonna have it together for this game.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so Florida's 3-3. Next game at South Carolina.
At South Carolina. South Carolina last year was a weird team, right? They were on fire at the end, but during the regular season, it was hit or miss. But I think they're going to be ready for Florida. It's at South Carolina, so I'm taking South Carolina in the W here.
Yes, I also have South Carolina. They like to beat up on teams that have any orange on their uniform, and the Gators do have that. So I got South Carolina, and Spencer Rattler having a crazy game.
Yeah, I got South Carolina as well because of Spencer Rattler. Before he transferred from Oklahoma, he was considered the number 1 quarterback in the nation. And then of course, he lost his job to Caleb Williams, transferred to South Carolina. But I think he's going to show again why he was considered that number 1 prospect at one time. So, big hill, Florida. They get a bye, and then they go to the world's largest outdoor party, October 28th in Jacksonville.
Man, I think the Gators might as well just enjoy the party, man. They need to go out, have fun, because it's not going to be fun between the lines. Georgia's going to drag them through the mud. They're going to mush them in the dirt. This is going to be the most lopsided loss probably in the history of the rivalry. Georgia is just icy. It's way better team than Florida. So Florida, go ahead and enjoy Duval County.
Yeah, I agree. This is going to be bad, right? And especially all those kids who are on the Florida Gators roster that are from Jacksonville, they get to come home and get embarrassed. It's sad. When I got Georgia in a blowout,
they might switch to another game in the third quarter there.
Yeah, I got Georgia in the blowout as well. Okay, November 4th, Arkansas comes to Gainesville.
This is a tough game to call for me. I just don't see Florida being able to get over the hump against Arkansas there. I don't. Taking
Arkansas. I'm going to go with Florida. They're in the swamp. They're going to have to, it's a prove-it game for them after getting their ass whooped by Georgia. So I'm going with the Gators.
I'm going with Arkansas. And the reason I'm going with Arkansas is because KJ Jefferson is a difference maker on offense. The Gators only return 3 starters on that defensive side of the ball. And they just don't have the offensive talent to hang with Arkansas. So I got them winning. So right now that puts Florida at 3-6 with 3 games remaining. Their next contest is November the 11th at LSU in Death Valley.
That's going to be the real Death Valley when Florida gets there. They're going to get buried there. LSU by a lot. I'd say not even a contest. Let's see, last year it was 45-35. I think the margin is going to be a lot bigger this year.
Yeah, I agree. I've heard, former players say that LSU Death Valley is the toughest place to play at night. So if it's a night game, like I'm sure it will be, Florida doesn't stand a chance. Them Louisiana boys, they like to eat gator, and they're going to be chowing on something at night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got Florida losing as well, but in a close one. Because LSU will be just coming off the game against Alabama. So it'll be, they won't have their legs under them like that. It'll be beat up, kind of bruised still and physical from the week before. So I got them winning, but in a close one. So right now we have Florida at 3-7. They're not going to be eligible for a bowl game as of right now. November 18th, they play at Missouri.
I'm inclined to be gracious to the Florida Gators right here and say they're going to come out with a win. They're going to pick themselves up. They're going to surprise everybody, come out with a W at Missouri.
Not so fast, my friend. Missouri is a tough place to play. They head coach got that thing rolling. They almost won some big games last year. So they had Georgia on the ropes. I got Missouri at home with a dub.
I agree. I got Missouri winning because it's a tough road game. So, again, it depends on if it's at night. If it's at night, they're most definitely not going to win. So I got Missouri. And then now to their last game, Florida State.
The Noles are going to, man, I know it's a rivalry game. This is a North Florida rivalry, but Florida State is going to dominate the game from first whistle to last whistle. It's not, I'm taking Florida State. They're going to light them up.
Yeah, I agree. I just think Justin Travis. I got Florida State. I just think Jordan Travis is just going to be too much for them. Phenomenal quarterback. The Gators not going to have enough in the tank after having a season that they're going to have to go in there and get a victory. I just don't see it.
Yep. I got Florida State molly-whopping them in the swamp.
So that gives them what?
Florida State. Yeah, it gives them 3-9.
3-9. And you know what? That is, I think we're going to be extremely close. I think we're on point here. This is not an easy schedule that they got this year. And they don't have a good team to compete with the teams that they have on their schedule. But,
if I'm not mistaken, I looked at something and they said they have the toughest schedule in the country. Yeah, but like it's kind of like Ed was saying. I think it's teetering. They could be 3-9. They could be 6-6. They could be 5-7. But I still don't see them, managing that schedule to where they're like 8-4 or something like that. I think they're going to be under 5 or at 500. Yeah, so it says right here, the Florida Gators have the toughest schedule in 2023 of any SEC team. I want to say this in the country too.
Yeah, in the country, I think they were like number 6 or 7 in the country. Yeah. All right, well, that does it for this episode of the Unbiased Room. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Check out some of our other content. Tell us how we're doing. Take care.
Peace.